A few days later, on January 19th, a SWAT team with armored vehicles showed up at his home. Officers pointed rifles in his face and took him to jail. He spent 49 days in solitary confinement. What he went through is described in a fantastic new piece by Julie Kelly in American Greatness. Initially, prosecutors accused Caldwell of plotting an attack on the Capitol, even though he never even went inside the Capitol building on January 6th. He's now in home detention awaiting trial. Lieutenant Commander Thomas Caldwell joins us tonight with his wife, Sharon Caldwell. Thank you both very much for coming on tonight. So,
Thank you, Tucker.
Thank you.
Very quickly, the facts of your case. You didn't go inside the Capitol. You spent 49 days in solitary confinement in prison. Tell us what they're charging you with exactly, if you would.
Well, it's really interesting, Tucker, because they made me the poster boy. I was defendant number one in a conspiracy. They said I conspired, and I actually put together a military-style attack on the Capitol, that I stormed into the Capitol and did all these terrible things. They even claimed I threatened our lawfully elected representatives in Congress. Total claptrap. But they sent that information all around the world, across all the media platforms. Interestingly enough, while I was languishing in the prison in solitary confinement, not knowing when I was going to get out, Sharon found us our current lawyer, Mr. David Fisher. And David Fisher immediately started doing lawyer stuff, like looking for the truth and doing some research. And when he did that, he went to the government and he said, how's about showing me some evidence? And when they couldn't produce it, they immediately changed their position. Now they say the exact opposite of what they said. Originally, they claimed I was the commander of the Oath Keepers, that I did this terrible thing to go inside, and I created a plan to attack Congress. Now they admit, no, Tom, you really didn't do that. You weren't the commander of the Oath Keepers, not a leader, not even a member. Now, they seem to be very nice people, but I'm not part of that organization. Then they continued to do their flip-flop, and they said, you know, I guess you didn't really go in, and I guess you didn't really develop a plan to attack. But still, Tucker, we're mired in a legal battle against the government with no end in sight. And what they're doing is they're driving forward. You know the story about how the SWAT team came, traumatized Sharon and I. They've decimated our finances. Have you heard that before? And right now, where we are, although we're Christians and we believe that God has us in the palm of his hand, things are not looking all that great. And we're at the edge of losing our family farm, the same farm that I grew up on, where we're broadcasting from tonight.
You think of all the people in Congress who support what has happened to you. Liz Cheney ought to be ashamed, and I hope she's watching this. Mrs. Caldwell, what did you think when armed men took your husband away and put him in solitary confinement for 49 days?
I really didn't know what to think. I was so shocked and surprised when the SWAT team shows up at our house, and my husband and I went to D.C. on January 6th as husband and wife. I mean, we considered it an outing, a couple of days in D.C., just a husband and wife, I hate to say fun thing to do, but, at that time, we didn't even anticipate that there were going to be any riots or anything like that. So, we just went to hear the president speak one last time. And then, like you said, a few days later, this SWAT team shows up, and it's surreal. It's just absolutely surreal, this whole experience. I cannot believe it. I never thought in a million years that anything like this would happen to us. You can't even conceive of it. And I still wake up some days and I think, is this really happening? Is this really happening? It does not seem real. And when he was taken away from me, when he didn't come home right away, I really thought he was just going to be bonded out and he'd be home, and I knew, okay, we got to get this straightened out somehow. There must be some misunderstanding. But when, he was still there about 2 months later, I'm thinking, oh my gosh. Oh. I really thought that, he's a 100% service disabled veteran. He's given everything for this country that he loves. And he has serious health issues. He can hardly walk sometimes. He's in so much chronic pain every single day. And I thought I'd never see him again. I thought he was going to die in prison.
I hope you crush these people, and we're going to follow your case, and I hope that you both will come back.
Thank you.
It's shocking this could happen in our country.
Thank you.
Yes,
If I may, please, for further information about our case, we've got a lot of great information on our website. If you want to learn more, please go to our website, saveourfarmva.com, saveourfarmva.com. And if you'd like to help us with our legal expenses, you can do that there too. Thank you so much.
Lieutenant Commander Thomas Caldwell and Sharon Caldwell, thank you both for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So at the height of the